$10 for this lousy old cap?
Fake shoes? What a ripoff!
Damn it! Absolute trash again!
Hours ago, I was humiliated to my face by my cheating wife and her lover. My daughter's sky-high $500,000 medical bill is still up in the air. And here I am, using my last $10 to buy this abandoned mystery box.
A bum actually thinks he can strike it rich with this? Is that raggled piece of crap even worth a dime? Are you just throwing a tantrum now, venting your frustration on a doll? In the end, you won't even have a dime left.
But from this moment on, my daughter will be proud of me. No one will ever humiliate us again.
That's a Pataphyllip How is this possible? How did you know that was inside the doll?
Mr. Wilson? Shh.
Daddy, where are you going?
Be a good girl, Lily. Daddy is just going to step out and talk to the doctor for a bit. Just get some sweet sleep. And everything will be fine when you wake up. Lily's congenital heart defect has triggered severe heart failure. We've just stabilized her acute indicators, but now we must proceed with stabilization therapy before moving to surgery. The total budget is $500,000. Doctor, I explained my situation. When my ex-wife walked out, she canceled our family health insurance. I can't come up with that kind of money on such short notice. If she doesn't get into the stabilization program, she could go into acute failure again at any time. The window for surgery will only get narrower. No, it can't be like this. She's only 6 years old. Doctor, I will find a way to get the money for her treatment, no matter what. Just give me a few more days, please. I'll apply for an 8-week surgical window for her. Pay $50,000 today so the hospital can start the stabilization therapy. The remaining $450,000 must be secured before the window closes. Thank you. Thank you. No problem. I'm going to get the money right now.
Watch where you're going. If you hurt the baby in my belly, I'll make you pay!
Rachel? Thank God. Lily is in the ICU, and I need money for her treatment. For our daughter's sake, lend me $50,000.
Oh, that little Brit is still alive? Grant, Lily is the sick money pit I told you about before.
You knew she was sick all along? Is that why you ran away? You even intentionally cut off our family insurance?
No. I divorced you because you're a complete loser. And that little bitch's sickness is just because she has your low-class blood running through her. But this baby in my tummy, Grant's child, is perfectly healthy. He is born to inherit a massive estate, while your daughter is only fit to rot in a hospital bed.
She is your daughter too! How can you be so cold-blooded? Enough, loser. If you want to save that little brat, here's a tip. Go sell your blood. $50 a pop.
Do it 1,000 times and you're set. But guess what? Even if you drain every single drop of your cheap, useless, filthy blood, you still won't save her. Go buy a decent cardboard box for your daughter. That's probably the best final home she's going to get. Keep your loose change and buy yourself a decent grave. No matter what, I will save my daughter. As for you two, sooner or later, I'll send you to hell myself.
There's still time. Even if I have to sell a kidney on the black market, I have to scrape together $50,000. Lily, wait for Daddy.
Garbage belongs in the dumpster!
Hey man, you alright? Knockoff sneakers? Worth $20? What the? Do I have X-ray vision now? And I can see the exact value of everything? I'm fine. You sure? These are unacclaimed packages I scavenged from the port. Interested? $10 a pop. Care to try your luck? I can't be sure if this vision is real or just a hallucination yet. I'd better just watch for a second.
Just look at his pathetic broke ass. He probably can't even scrape up a single dollar from his pockets. Boss, that one, and the one in your arms, I'll take them all. You got it. That'll be $30.
A $1 baseball hat.
Damn it! Absolute trash again!
Holy crap, it's real. $10 toy car? $20 knockoff sneakers?
Well, broke even at least.
I can actually see through them. If there's something high value hidden here. A $115,000 watch? Selling it should solve Lily's immediate medical crisis.
I want that one. What? You want this one? This $10 is probably your entire life savings, isn't it? A hobo like you dreaming of hitting the jackpot? Go to hell. Even a seasoned mystery box buyer like me can only just break even. All sales are final. No refunds. Ha! Too late to back out now. You pathetic daydreamer, you'd better go hunt for molded bread in the dumpsters tonight to feed yourself. Stubborn prick, if you can pull anything good out of that, I'll eat this toy car right here, right now. A ragged doll. Go snuggle with it tonight so our poor little boy can feel safe and sound. What the hell? That's a Patek Philippe! Holy crap! A Notice 5711, and it's the discontinued as blue dial. It's worth at least $120,000. My father's been hunting for this exact piece for 10 years.
Market price is $115,000. Give me $100,000 flat and it's yours.
Deal. You've got some insane luck, man. To stumble upon a masterpiece hidden inside a piece of trash doll like that. Maybe you should look into storage unit auctions. The stuff you can score there is worth way more than these packaged blind boxes. If you're interested, contact me anytime. But even $100,000 in starting capital might not be enough.
First, use $50,000 to pay Lily's hospital deposit. The remaining $50,000 will be the starting point for us to flip our lives around. The deposit is paid, and the rest of the starting capital is safely in the bank. But if I'm going to money, I won't be able to look after Lily. Looks like I'll have to trouble my sister Emma again.
You supposed to be at the hospital taking care of Lily? How did you get hurt like this? What about her medical bills?
The deposit is paid. I'm going to collect the back wage the liquidation company owes me and put the rest in the bank. Emma, can you stay with Lily for 2 hours?
Of course I can.
You work the store all day and sit at the hospital all night. Who's supposed to handle our own books? I'm only asking her for 2 hours.
2 hours? You still need another $450,000. You have no insurance, you can't even collect 3 weeks of wages, and now you want to drag Emma down in with you?
Lily isn't a bill. She's a child.
Rachel abandoned her. Why should we be the ones to carry the burden? Just because Rachel walked away from her responsibility doesn't mean Lily should just sit there and die.
Come on. I'm going to the hospital now. I'll finish the store's books tonight.
Emma!
There were witnesses on the street. Rachel's guardian account just received an alert too. Jack paid the $50,000.
Where did he get that kind of cash? He was just begging me yesterday.
That's exactly why it's worth digging into.
If I hadn't been there for a prenatal checkup yesterday, I wouldn't even have looked at them. I don't want anything more to do with Jack or that sick child.
I couldn't care less whether that sick brat lives or dies. But the hit and run is already on the police radar, and he suddenly coughed up $50,000 overnight. I need to trace this suckus money. Find out what he sold. If it smells like marital assets, have the lawyers freeze it immediately. Even if we can't find proof, we lock him down and slow him to a crawl.
The 8-week window has officially begun. To secure the remaining $450,000, I need to get those 3 weeks of hard-earned wages back first. You're backed up 3 weeks on my wages. Square it up today. Plus, I quit.
Quit. Did that crash scramble your brain? Your daughter's still in the hospital, and you think you can walk away from this job?
Do you dare?
You want out? Fine. The company has no cash, so wait for your wages. And if you quit without notice, you forfeit your 2-week security deposit. Go sign the paperwork in accounting.
I busted my ass for you for 3 weeks and didn't see a single dime. Now Lily is in the hospital. I just want what's rightfully mine.
A workplace injury? 12 years ago, after the Old Port accident, you signed the liability papers and got thrown out. If I hadn't taken you in, who would have hired you? And now you want to lecture me about rules? Dream on. That's your compensation. Pick it up. Anything extra is me being generous.
My daughter is still in the ICU. That money is what I earned with my sweat. Not a damn handout.
See that pile of junk? Broken chairs, old refrigerators, rotten boxes. Sign for it and take it as your wages or keep waiting. Once it leaves this building, the company assumes no responsibility. You call that wages? Dumpish diving pays better. That's the offer. Take the pile or leave empty-handed.
Think about your daughter in the hospital. 2 gold bales, 3 diamond rings. That's $108,000 total. This idiot has absolutely no clue. So, everything on this list belongs to me the second I sign this, right?
Right. Trash or treasure, once you sign, the company has no further responsibility.
Fine. I'll take a few pieces.
See that? He's so broke, he treats junk like treasure. Don't come crying to the boss later, asking to trade it for cash. If there's treasure in this thing, I'll give you the whole warehouse.
He used to take every insult without talking back. Now he's really taking junk as wages?
It's not courage. He's so broke he can't even bear to throw garbage away.
Lily, Daddy found a way.
Jack, the Hospital Foundation is hosting an event tonight. The Howard Foundation said Lily's remaining balance might be open for discussion.
I'm busy.
Grant will be there in person.
If you want a shot at the foundation review, bring Lily's medical files.
If you genuinely want to save the kid, don't blow this off tonight.
The deposit bought us 8 weeks. This $108,000 still isn't enough to save Lily, but I can find the next valuable item. Well, look who actually showed up. I figured after tossing down that $50,000 deposit, you wouldn't be needing the foundation anymore. The hospital said the foundation is willing to review Lily's case. I'm only here to talk about the criteria and the timeline. Tonight, we are also here to witness a mother reuniting with her ailing daughter.
She's not the mommy I remember.
The cameras are rolling. Don't humiliate me.
She's a patient, not a prop for your commercial. Lily's case hasn't been approved yet. Cooperate with the charity shoot, and I can bump her application up to priority review. I am personally donating 2 items from my private collection. Every single dollar from this charity auction will go straight to the Children's Medical Fund. To call this a donation? Would anyone even bid $1 for this junk?
This is a charity gala, not a junk disposal slight.
They're old, but they've been cleaned and sanitized. They're good enough for the kids in the ward.
8 weeks, $450,000. Play ball with me, and Lily's case goes to priority review. Keep making a scene, and she won't even make it to the evaluation table. So Lily's financial aid hasn't even been approved yet, has it?
Sign the authorization form first. Once you learn to cooperate, then I'll submit the application.
Sign it, and Lily goes to priority review. Follow our script, and don't breathe a word about the car accident or anything before today.
This isn't an aid package.
You want me to sell out my daughter and sign my silence just for a spot that hasn't even been approved? You only have 8 weeks, and you're still short $450,000. Pride doesn't clear hospital tabs, pal.
She's been living under your roof, so her treatment is entirely your job. Don't use her to drag me back down into this.
The moment you cut her insurance and walked out on her, you made your choice. Don't stand in front of the cameras now acting like a mother.
Sign the papers, then come handle my warehouse storage. At least you'll make some pocket money.
Mr. Howard is offering you a job. You should learn some damn gratitude. If it's broken, it can be fixed. We don't just throw it away just because someone calls it worthless. A fake bag and a printed signature. Together they're worth less than $1,000. But the publicity they're buying by exploiting Lily is worth far more.
Put that down. That is way out of your league.
Are you absolutely certain you want to auction these 2 items for charity?
Of course. Then let's have the staff appraiser check them right here, right now.
A man who uses fakes to buy a charitable reputation has zero right to lecture me on how to save my daughter.
A warehouse grut actually trying to appraise my collection?
The leather grain is machine pressed, and the hardware is unusually light. As for the name on the baseball, not a single stroke was handwritten.
You're just damn jealous of Mr. Howard's wealth.
Money can't turn a counterfeit into the real thing.
The bag is a high-end knockoff, and the signature is definitely a print. Neither of these can go into a legitimate charity auction. Just a procurement blunder, that's all. The foundation will replace the auction items immediately.
Not a cent has been approved for her case, but the contract is clear. Silence me, use Lily in your advertising, and erase your liability for hitting me with the car. I'm not signing this.
If you walk away from my terms, you can scrape up that 450 grand all by yourself. The Howard Foundation will not submit this application for Lily ever again.
The rest of the money, I'll find it myself. At least no one can use a pending application to control Lily anymore.
Daddy, let's go home.
The contact at the procurement company goes by Vince. He's got ties to the Howard Group's old port project. If Jack leaks the hit and run, along with the fake auction items, it's going to ruin our wedding and the baby.
Don't talk about us just yet. You couldn't even manage to keep a 6-year-old kid under control today. Find out exactly where his goods are coming from and what accounts that cash is hitting. Track down his sister's laundromat and his parents' trailer park. Dig into all of it. Didn't you say he was so poor he could barely afford food? Then how did he dare humiliate me in public?
He just got lucky. He used to be a complete pushover. Anyone could walk all over him.
Sister's laundromat is underwater on debts, and the trailer park where his parents live is currently in relocation talks.
Then let's show them exactly what happens when you cross me.
Mr. Howard, are we really going after his family?
I was the one humiliated last night, so today his whole family get to pay the price.
Sell these off first, then we start settling the accounts one by one.
Sir, how can I help you today?
Do you guys buy gold and diamond rings here?
We do, but we require an appraisal and formal registration. Let me take a look at these first.
Everything is authentic. We buy at the current buyback price, not the retail counter price. Give me a fair market price. The absolute best we can do is $75,000. If you pass on this, you'll get pretty much the same anywhere else. He lowboyed me by a third. You short me by a third. Sir, you might not really know how the market works. I don't know your tricks, but I know how to read prices.
The clerk miscalculated. The standard payout is $108,000 flat. Paperwork, invoice, and bank wipe, everything fully covered.
Itemose everything clearly and wire the funds.
You got it.
$108,000. Still not enough. Lily, just hang on for Daddy a little longer.
Watch where you're going!
It's a real diamond, but it's lab grown. The certificate belongs to an entirely different natural pink diamond.
What are you staring at? If you scratch a diamond like this, you couldn't pay it off even if you sold yourself.
You probably shouldn't try to sell that, dude.
Who the hell do you think you are? A broke nobody trying to teach me business?
The first medical deposit is already paid. Don't look for any more trouble.
A natural pink diamond brooch, fully certified. I want to consign it. The reserve price is $300,000.
The amount is too high, so it requires approval from a partner.
What do we have here?
A pink diamond brooch. The seller says it's natural and has a certificate.
Provenance?
A family heirloom. I'm in a cash crunch, otherwise I'd never part with it. The certificate is right here. What's left to inspect? If you guys won't take it, I'll go to another house. See? It is a real diamond, and the certificate is right here. Stop delaying and prepare the payment.
Process it for consignment storage first. Hold the funds. Starting bid at $300,000, but it must be sent to the lab for a recheck.
You again? Who gave you permission to come in here?
Sir, do you have an appointment?
You shouldn't take that item.
Excuse me?
It is not a natural pink diamond.
Say another word and see what happens! What did you just say? Say it one more time. I'm afraid I misheard you.
I said this brooch is not a natural pink diamond.
You see this? A guy wearing a work uniform with a bandage all head is standing here trying to teach me about jewelry.
Sir, do you happen to know this seller?
Never seen him before.
Then you'd better not jump to conclusions. Accusations like this can hurt the auction house reputation, not to mention the sellers. Since you had the balls to walk in here, don't just drop a conclusion and leave it at that. Give me your reasoning.
The certificate itself is authentic, but it belongs to an entirely different loose diamond. The cut proportions in the photo don't match the actual piece. The girdle laser code on this primary stone has been ground down, and there's a ring of frost around the edge.
So what if it's been repaired? It's perfectly normal for antique jewelry to undergo restoration. Don't act like an expert when you don't know jack shit.
Restoration itself is normal. Side stones have inconsistent color temperatures, and the center stone is lab-grown. Are you calling all of that restoration too?
Sophia, I'm withdrawing the consignment. Give me back my brooch. If you let a broken nobody stand here and slander your clients, we have nothing more to discuss.
You were the one begging for a cash advance a minute ago, and now you're rushing to leave. What's the hurry?
I have an urgent matter to attend to, okay?
Is this urgent matter a friend pressuring you to grab lunch too?
That thing belongs to me! Give it back!
You signed the consignment testing authorization, so the brooch will remain sealed. The police are here. You can explain it to them.
You messed with the wrong guy. You'd better watch your back when you walk home at night.
You'd better worry about where you're sleeping tonight first.
Seal the brooch, turn over the test record, surveillance footage, and authorization form to the police.
I'm warning you one last time. If the test damages the stone, you guys are paying for it.
If it's real, I'll pay for any damage. If it's fake, you explain it. The center stone is exactly what he said it was. The certificate belongs to another stone.
Who put you up to bringing this in?
I swear I have no clue. I'm just the middleman running errands. Vince threw me $5,000 to secure the cash advance, and he didn't tell me jack shit about the rest.
Phone numbers, wire logs, meeting locations, spill all of it.
You didn't just stop a $300,000 fraudulent sale. If that piece had sold through my auction house, it would have destroyed my reputation.
I just happened to spot it and spoke up.
Most people see trouble and their first instinct is to look the other way. You walked out the door and turned right back around. That's not just speaking up.
I've been hiding in the shadows for way too long. Lily is still in that hospital bed. If I keep hiding, she won't have a single soul standing in front of her.
Next time you track down any merchandise, bring it straight to me. Jewelry, high-end watches, estate cleanouts, forfeitures, unacclaimed storage units, we handle all of it.
I've only ever bought a $10 blind box. Someone like me can actually get into storage unit auctions?
Those cardboard boxes at the port are just for rookies to pay their dues. A real blind auction gives you exactly 10 seconds to look inside before you buy the entire unit. Whether it's buried treasure or toxic mold inside, you swallow the cost alone.
Sounds a lot like gambling.
Your eyes only dictate whether you spot the prize. The capital, the legal permits, and the disposal logistics, that's what dictates whether you actually walk away with it. 20 grand. Special risk consultant fee processed straight through the corporate account. You saved my house from a counterfeit disaster. So you earned this money clean and square.
Let me read through the terms before I sign.
If you signed it without reading, I wouldn't have the guts to hire you.
The errand fee traces back to a third-party procurement contractor used by the Howard Foundation. The police secured the evidence, but right now it only proves a financial link. It doesn't trace back to who pulled the strings.
Grant, you'd better pray this is just a coincidence.
Mr. Wilson, large cash injections and liquidation payboats require thorough source verification.
The paperwork is all right here. I want to establish a child medical trust account for Lily Wilson.
The sources of the fund have been verified. How much would you like to deposit?
$150,000. The hospital already took the $50,000 deposit. This trust will be exclusively locked down for Lily's ongoing therapy and surgery. With the initial deposit paid, you've secured $200,000 total. Within the 8-week surgical window, you're still short $300,000. I know. I'll keep hammering away at the balance. One more thing. This trust only manages the finances. Rachel is still listed on the legal guardianship files. The medical consent rights for the surgery will have to go through a family court judge. She hasn't cared for Lily in 2 years, and she canceled her health insurance. Then you bring that exact proof to a lawyer. The bank can only recognize documents that are legally active right now.
He went to a gold dealer and an auction house before entering the bank. We couldn't obtain his account balance, but we confirmed that he recently sold a luxury watch, gold, and diamond rings.
Could those pieces have been hidden away before the divorce? If they were, he's actively concealing marital assets.
Oh, so now you suddenly remember you were his wife?
I just don't want him turning around, building a fortune, and blasting the insurance cancellation to the media.
Trace the exact transaction dates and the supply chain. If it smells like marital assets, have our lawyers file for an immediate asset freezes. If you can't find proof, don't tip them off just yet.
Sir, the discount rack is in the back. If it's just for a job interview, the budget line will do just fine.
I'll try this one on.
That one isn't on sale.
I didn't ask if it was on sale. These clothes won't make me any more valuable. All they'll do is force those bastards to sit down and actually listen to what I have to say first. This model features one-touch dialing and video calls. The second the emergency button is pressed, it automatically uploads a short video, audio, and live tracking coordinates. I'll take it. When she needs me, she needs to reach me instantly.
3 months of back print plus utilities comes out to $8,400. If it's not squared up today, I'm changing the locks tomorrow morning. The supply balance is $3,100. You've been dragging your feet for a month, and my crew needs to get paid too. I told you not to keep helping Jack. He crossed Grant, and now everyone is coming after us.
The back rent is on us.
What the hell does Jack have to do with it?
Where the hell did you borrow a suit like that?
I just hovered the balance, run the card, and make sure the receipt is itemized.
Mr. Wilson, I wasn't trying to make things hard for Emma. It's just that the balance has been sitting for way too long.
The back rent is cleared, plus I'm prepaying for next month. The leases stay exactly as is. Don't take my cash today and change the story tomorrow.
Of course, of course.
I'm paying back the principal on everything you covered for me before. The rent and the supplies are taken care of, and I'm leaving $2,000 in the register for daily operations. The shop is yours, and the revenue hits your account alone.
What exactly did you get yourself into? Don't dive back into a hole just to throw me a lifeline.
Every dollar is documented. It wasn't stolen, and it wasn't borrowed. Take it, Emily.
Jack, I panicked just now. We're family. Don't take those harsh words to heart. If you have any business later, I can help too.
When I was flat broke, you were terrified I'd show up. Now that you see the cash, you're terrified I'll walk away.
From this moment on, I'm managing the shop's accounts myself.
I'm on my way. Keep the shop running. Call me if anything goes sideways, and stop carrying the world on your shoulders alone.
I want my daddy.
It's only going to take a few minutes. Just cooperate and don't humiliate Grant and me.
The second the cameras roll, just say thank you to the Howard Foundation and Mommy. Once you say it, We'll bump you up to a much better private suite.
She wasn't there for me. Daddy was.
Cut the cameras. She didn't give consent. Rachel is her legal mother, and she already signed the media consent form.
Jack has been the sole caregiver here, and he's the one clearing the bills. Since there's an active dispute over the medical records and the media exposure, the shoot stops right now.
Hold this down, and Daddy will be right there. If you don't want to shoot, just say no. Nobody can use your medicine to push you around.
Is Mommy going to take me away?
No one is going to take you away without telling me. Daddy will have a lawyer put every document in order.
You honestly think hoarding a little cash means you can just scratch me off the legal documents?
You walked away for 2 straight years, cut her insurance, and didn't clear a single bill. The family court judge is going to review this line by line. The judge is also going to ask where the hell your cash is coming from. Scrapping together a living on storage unit flips day by day? You call that a stable income? Lily's trust is entirely isolated, and every transaction is backed by invoices. Dig all you want, but keep your damn hands off her. As long as Rachel's guardianship stands, she can interfere with the surgery and sign publicity waves. We're filing an emergency motion for sole medical decisioning rights immediately while nailing down the proof of your care over the last 2 years.
She doesn't give a damn about Lily anyway. Why the hell is she still blocking these files?
This isn't about the child. She's either afraid of being sackled with the medical debt or she wants to use her signature as leverage. The court doesn't care what she claims to feel. It looks at evidence. Long-term care logs, a stable residence, and a consistent legal income stream. You have a solid foundation for the first 2, but we need to reinforce the residence and the income. Before Lily was hospitalized, we were packed into a cramped port bunkhouse. It's not a proper home, but it's the only place I could secure. First, rent a 2-bedroom apartment within walking distance of the hospital. It's not a show for Rachel. It's about showing the judge that the second Lily gets discharged, she has a safe home to return to.
I want to move faster.
You already paid the price once for that liability statement 12 years ago. Don't miss a single word in Lily's authorization documents. Your consulting contract just started, and your credit file shows past delinquency flags. I can put down 3 months deposit up front. But the contract needs to state clearly, utility rates for medical equipment will face 0 soup charges, and the backup power grid will undergo routine property maintenance checks. Is your child ill? Congenital heart defect. She requires an entirely stable environment the second she gets out of the hospital.
Jack, your dad told me not to reach out. The trailer park just posted a relocation notice. If we don't clear out by the end of the month, they're cutting the water and power.
Take a photo of the notice and send it to me. Don't sign a damn thing yet. I'm heading over right now.
Where the hell did the truck come from?
It's a pre-armed truck for hauling freight.
The second you get your hands on a little cash, you swap your clothes and your truck. Did you stop paying for Lily's treatment?
Lethem, finish talking first.
The hospital received $50,000 and another $150,000 is safely held in Lily's medical trust. The 8-week surgical window has begun. The suit is for clients and the truck is for hauling goods. I haven't touched her life-saving money.
How is Lily doing?
She has always lived with me. I rented a place near the hospital and my lawyer is applying for sole medical decision-making authority.
Then stop just talking about it. The kid can't afford to face a second wave of disappointment.
I know. I get that you guys didn't believe in me before. But this time, just watch what I do first.
I'm not terrified of you running out of money. I'm terrified that the second you spot a shred of hope, you'll drive yourself way harder than before.
Before today, I didn't know what I was surviving for. Now I do.
When you broke your leg as a child, your father carried you 4 miles on his back. He talks tough because he's afraid you'll fall again.
What the hell are you bringing that up for?
The development company said if we sign today, we get $2,000 flat. and they won't even haul our trailers if we wait past tonight. We're all getting old. If we're forced out, where could we possibly afford to rent?
$2,000 sounds like a lot, but a single move and a rental deposit will wipe it out clean. But if we don't sign, we're terrified we won't even see that $2,000 in the end.
Don't rush into signing anything just yet. Give me 24 hours to dig into the old agreements. Tomorrow, whether you pack up or dig in, the choice will be yours. Who holds the deed to this land right now?
The development company bought the property. But years ago, we signed a long-term occupation agreement with the original owner. Old Marty has kept the documents.
The developers come after him every day, trying to make him sign a statement declaring the old agreement void.
Don't sign any compensation paperwork, and don't start fights with them. I'll go head up and get the facts from old Marty.
That old man's temper is way worse than mine.
Then at least I've had plenty of practice. $200,000. The second you verify the original lease expired years ago, you walk away with the cash tonight.
You guys said 100,000 last week.
Just shows our good faith. You're getting up there in years. Keeping a stack of old paper won't exactly fund your retirement. If that old paper was truly useless, it wouldn't be worth a $100,000 bump in a single week. You again. You have no say here. My family lives down the hill. I'm not begging you to sign, and I'm not begging you to pass. I just want to find out what exactly they're buying first.
They're buying my signature. What about you? What exactly are you bringing to buy my trust?
Don't listen to nonsense from a clean-out worker. He can't even understand this contract. I can see through physical goods, but X-ray vision doesn't decode contract law. I don't understand contract law, and I'm not going to pretend I do. But give me a shot to look at the merchandises inside your house once.
Come back tomorrow. Tonight, I want to hear what this guy who doesn't pretend to be an expert has to say first. Go ahead, lay it out. Which piece is worth real money? Don't pull sweet talk out of your ass to pacify me.
The truly valuable item is this pocket watch. Pry open the false bottom of this parts box. The pocket watch hidden inside is worth roughly $60,000.
I've been hunting for this for 30 years. I figured it was stolen long ago.
You aren't guarding a pile of junk, you're guarding a house full of history.
I used to manage the leases here. The original owner promised that as long as everyone paid rent on time, they could continue living here. When the land was sold, a lawyer prepared a succession document requiring the new owner to honor that promise.
Where are those legal files?
All I have is the old lease. The actual succession rider is with the lawyer who handled the transfer back then. The creditors are clearing out my cabinets and files tomorrow. Those papers are exactly what the development company is after.
Then let's let them spend top dollar to buy the wrong files while we keep the real ones for ourselves.
You sure you can pull this off?
When it comes to merchandise, I trust my eyes. When it comes to people, you just have to bet the house once.
Court-ordered asset liquidation. All items sold as it. All sales are final. The original lease is inside a flat tin box. I remember putting it in the cabinet, but after shifting things around over the years, I can't be certain.
Don't look at me. The more anxious we act, the faster they'll disco exactly what we're hunting for. The paper is authentic. Whether it can save our people is a call for Mason to make.
Lot 7. 2 filing cabinets plus 3 crates of vintage papers. Bidding starts at $50.
50.
5,000. That's not...
10,000.
20,000.
Why'd you freeze up? Aren't you supposed to be saving your parents? You got the cash, it's all yours.
The fatal flaw with broke people is that you always think raw courage can substitute for cold cash.
Did Jack misread the room? He didn't even push past 20 grand. Do we still stand a shred of hope?
Ever since he was a kid, he'd rub his nose whenever he lied.
He's not rubbing it now, so don't panic yet.
Your father knows you pretty damn well.
He's been chewing me out for over 40 years. He was bound to learn a thing or two.
$20, do I hear 20?
20.
Sold.
I'll give you $1,000 flat to buy that ragged cabinet back.
You just lectured me that courage can't substitute for cash. Now let me hand you a lesson back. All sales are final.
Didn't you tell me he was staring right at this cabinet?
He was definitely looking at it.
If looking at items incurs a fee now, you owe me a hefty balance. 50 grand flat for the cabinet and everything inside. I can even leave your parents' trailer untouched. The higher you push the price, the more I want to dig into what's hidden inside.
This is it. Every single household name is right here. With these in hand, can we actually protect this place?
I only know the papers are genuine. You tell us whether they have legal effect.
This is more than enough to file for an emergency injunction.
I'm submitting it right now.
The second the judge signs off, they cannot cut your water, cut your power, or forcibly haul a single vehicle.
You honestly think a few scraps of old paper can beat Grant? At least for today, not a single one of you is driving my parents out.
Congratulations. $20 bought you a tiny shred of hope.
For someone driving all the way out here, it doesn't look like you came just to congratulate me.
This original lease passed its expiration date long ago. That permanent tenantship you keep talking about is only stated in the succession trider. Without it, these papers buy you a few days at best.
He locked onto the vulnerability. The final page does explicitly reference a succession rider. Without that piece, we can only fight for a temporary injunction first. Where the hell did the rider go?
Alan Cole was the attorney handling the title transfer back then. The original files always stayed secure at his firm.
Cole died years ago, and the firm folded right after. You have exactly 72 hours left. These second time runs out, I will right here, watching this entire place get cleared flat. The injunction only hits the brakes on the relocation. It doesn't mean you won. Sign right now, and every household to still get $2,000 and a one-time moving service. The second these 72 hours run out, this deal vanishes.
Can we truly afford to wait? My wife is on an oxygen machine. We can't handle a single day without power.
I'm not signing for you, and I'm not telling you to walk away. Let Mason break down the terms first, then make your call.
You're a smooth talker. But they're gambling with the roofs over their heads, while if you lose, you just shift to a different rental spot.
Which is exactly why I won't let them gamble on my account. I will hunt down the missing file and bring it back.
The code is enclacked, which proves the rider definitely exists. The catch is Cole's firm folded 10 years ago. Where the hell the archives went is anyone's guess.
Dead guys, old paper, and missing archives. You sure love digging through this graveyard.
At least a dead guy doesn't play the saint for charity while throwing elderly pokes onto the street.
He talks a big mail tonight, but if that file doesn't surface in 3 days, the shut-off notice is still hitting your doors. Don't blame me for not leaving you an out when the time comes.
My husband is buried nearby. I don't want to leave. But I don't have the guts to gamble with whatever days I have left either.
Hold on it for now. No need to sign today. Once Mason reviews it, I will personally break down exactly what you stand to lose in every single clause.
You don't even know where your next dollar is coming from tomorrow, and you're out here guaranteeing their future?
I'm not guaranteeing a win. I'm just guaranteeing they won't be pushed into signing your papers while they're terrified.
After Cole passed away, his daughter sent the remaining boxes from the firm to a storage facility. She covered the rent for a few years, but then the payment stopped.
Are you certain the rider might be hidden there?
Cole didn't trust computers. He kept a paper trail for everything. The exact year he handled the land transfer, he was also representing a worker in a port company workplace injury case.
Which case?
I only recall him repeating back then that some folks would bury a worker's entire life inside an archive cabinet just to shield the corporation.
Cole's delinquent storage unit hits a public blind auction tomorrow. Then let's go bid it back.
Cole's archives were divided among 3 units. The facility only provides the unit numbers and does not guarantee that the contents are complete. The doors open for 10 seconds, and no one may enter to search.
And if we buy the wrong one?
The trash, the mold, the expired chemicals, and the disposal fees are all on you. A blind auction never issues refunds.
The clean-out registration is approved, but the insurance file is still missing the rider clause. If we don't patch it today, you won't even secure a bidding paddle.
Whatever's missing, we patch it today.
We have another headache. Grant's people registered too. Harrison Black, he specializes in predatory asset bid wriggling. He doesn't know where the rider is hidden, but he has the capital to spike the price on every single unit you lock your eyes on.
If he's exclusively gunning for me, that actually makes things simple.
You've only won once, so this is exactly when people mistake luck for skill. Blind auctions punish that mistake.
A few days ago, I was down to my last $10. I know better than anyone exactly how expensive a single mistake can be. One more thing. The rider is evidence, not merchandise. Once you win it, it goes straight into court custody to be sealed. You cannot keep it privately or trade it to Grant for money. What I want is for my parents to keep their home, not to build a fortune off a legal file.
I heard you flipped your life around on a $10 mystery box.
Nobody here is going to sort the trash out for you, pal.
Business registration, liability insurance, proof of a clean-out vehicle, and the deposit. The insurance endorsement just took effect, but the system hasn't updated yet.
Protocol is protocol. Broke people always love treating in a second as already done. Wealthy folks have a flaw, too. You always assume when someone walks to the door, they're begging you to open it. You honestly think Sophia can bail you out forever?
I'm not bailing him out. The insurance server is experiencing a sync lag. If you have an issue, stand right there and wait for the verification code to pop up.
Paperwork is fully verified. Paddle number 15.
The code arrived, and I got my paddle. Clean on the outside, zero real cargo on the inside. Lock onto this unit.
Is there truly something inside?
We have ears on us. Don't ask. The beds in Unit 2 have a recall notice, and disposal will cost more than they can sell for. The refrigeration unit in Unit 3 is broken. Buying it means losing money on removal before anything else.
Spotting value is one thing. You're finally learning how to factor in the outside liability.
A loss now doesn't just hurt me, it delays Lily's treatment. Every cost has had to be clear.
Preview concludes. Bidding kicks off in 5 minutes.
Your eyes are sharp, kid, but out here, spotting it doesn't mean you walk away with it. You're absolutely right. Sometimes it just comes down to who blinks first. 4,200. 4,500.
100,000. Sold for $100,000.
If you don't have the bankroll, don't flash your paddles so high, your arm's gonna get sore. Thanks for the tip. Your back's gonna hurt a lot worse when you start hauling that trash out.
Those high-end crates are completely empty too. $100,000 for a stage set. At least he can pretend to be rich tonight.
You baited me into locking onto this place. I look where I look, you bid what you bid. I'm damn sure not responsible for where my eyes happen to land.
$500 opening bid.
This one's a pass. The buyer's going to throw down more in disposal fees to the facility than the unit's worth. 500. You just lost a good storage unit worth 100,000, and now this is all you can afford? You were the one who bought the $100,000 unit. Don't put that loss on me.
Harrison, one Edelud, $500.
Boss, the crates are completely rotted out from water. If we push further in, the subfloor might be compromised. Lay down the traction boards first. Swap masks every 30 minutes. If anyone starts coughing, step out immediately. You still get paid for the hours.
You actually look like a real clean-out contractor now, not just a guy hunting for buried treasure.
Clean it out first. Then we can talk about finding valuables. All three are highly recognized models in the collector's market. Conservative appreciation hits $35,000.
Scored for $500? Damn, smelling this rot all morning actually paid off today.
The bonuses will be paid as agreed. First, finish clearing out the remaining trash. Our old bosses scored big items, and the first thing they did was kick the crew out so we wouldn't see the value. You carried the goods out, so I won't hide their value from you. You'll receive every dollar of wages and bonuses. Playing the good guy takes money. If those cameras don't sell, the first debt you owe will be their wages. I verified the clean-out contract before I ever cracked the door. If you genuinely give a damn about workers, go clear the disposal fees for your empty crates first. 100,000 loss. That 100,000 loss is yours, not mine.
"46 River Valley Road. It was Cole's home. It goes to foreclosure auction in 48 hours.
The rider isn't here. The next lead is at 46 River Valley Road. Jack secured the archive transfer log. The succession rider is likely hidden inside Cole's property. Lock down the house, hunt for the vault first. The land transfer and the old port incident all cleared through Cole's desk. The paper he hoarded is worth way more than the property value. All the transactions took place after the divorce. However, Rachel can claim that Jack concealed similar collectibles during the marriage and seek a temporary freeze.
Once his account is locked down, he's forced to come to me to negotiate?
We can also weaponize your active joint medical authorization rights to demand the hospital halt any non-emergency surgical scheduling paperwork.
I never asked you to look after that kid. You just need to sign 2 scraps of paper to completely trap Jack's cash and his time.
I want a written share of the Howard family trust for myself and my baby.
Once the job clears, it'll be there. You haven't shown your face for 2 straight years, and now you suddenly give a damn about my bank accounts?
I'm not contesting where Lily lives. I want the divorce assets reviewed again. As for her treatment costs, don't expect the court to make me cover them later. Take full liability for the treatment costs, let the insurance drop slide, renetting ablations, and throw in another 80 grand cash. Sign all 3, and I drop the motions right now.
You're treating our daughter's surgical consent forms like a price tag?
Ms. Carter legally retains joint medical authority. You possess the right to reject the terms or wait out a court ruling. Jack has been Lily's sole caregiver, and he paid both the deposit and the trust funds. Rachel disappeared for 2 years and canceled the insurance. And now, she is demanding money in exchange for her signature. We are seeking emergency sole medical decision-making authority and opposing any freeze on the life-saving account.
The $200,000 Jack already cleared is sufficient to sustain the current treatment phase, and Lily has officially entered the 8-week surgical prep window. The remaining balance must be finalized before the operation. Pending the court's ruling, daily medication continues, and the medical trust assets will not be commilled with standard divorce property. You think a single account proves you won?
You already walked out once.
Don't expect to use a pen to lock down her surgical doors ever again.
I'll manage the medical authority and the accounts. You go lock down the rider. But the corporate operational FUDs and the medical trust must remain strictly isolated.
Not a single dime gets touched.
The primary residence is auctioned as its. Back taxes, stabilization, and debris removal are entirely the buyer's liability. The contents of the garage are a separate lot and does not include the real estate title.
There are files inside, but I can't verify whether they possess the legal teeth to shield the trailer park.
Back tax leases hit 70 grand. Temporary structural stabilization starts at 40 grand flat. Real restoration blows past 100 grand easily. Even if there's a vehicle inside, you can't balance the ledger.
Just because something is hidden inside doesn't mean the property title and restoration liabilities are worth swallowing.
Which is exactly why I had Mason dig into it. I refused to pay a lifelong price for someone else's terms. Because I failed to parse the paperwork a second time. Staring this hard, have you already picked out your own casket, kid? You showing up proves this house holds enough weight to terrify Grant.
This isn't a standard clear debt upon purchase auction. The 70 grand tax liege and the fire damage clean-out lease do not vanish when the hammer falls. The disclosure says explicitly they become the buyer's separate liability. It's not too late to back out. You don't need to bet your partner's capital just to prove a point.
Of course I'm terrified of losing cash. But being terrified is zero justification for looking away. Itemize every single line of risk clearly first, then decide what number we hit. The 70 grand tax last triggers upfront, and the 40 grand only covers emergency stabilization, not full repair. Nobody can guarantee what's inside the safe, but that 110,000 liability is hard locked. The medical trust stays untouched. The remaining cash falls short, so we split according to our partnership ratio.
The auction house covers the capital, you handle the fatal and liquidation. Deduct costs first, then split the yield. Not a single archive page gets handled privately. The lawyers and the county clerk witness the entire process.
And if the house only holds files with zero liquid value?
Then the auction house absorbs the contractual loss, and you take responsibility for your judgment. A partnership doesn't count only when it makes money.
Add one more clause. Neither party can use the archives to cut a private deal with Grant for cash. The second any evidence surfaces, it goes into immediate lockdown escrow.
I have the guts to look at merchandise, but I don't pretend to decide contracts.
That sentence gives me way more peace of mind than I guarantee we make money. You're overselling the act a bit.
Harrison loves believing he's parsed everyone else out. If I play it soft, he won't buy the bait. The files are inside the garage. Tomorrow, lock down the garage contents first, then spike the primary Presidential's price.
Mr. Howard, the more you try push me out of the bidding, the more I want unearth whatever files Attorney Cole hoarded I account.
Curiosity, an excellent way for a business owner go bork. I'm handing you a warning.
Jack can check a single piece of merchandise for you today, but tomorrow he'll have you betting your entire corporation on his eyes.
At least he turns over a contract he can't parse straight to a lawyer. The people surrounding you just burn whatever files they shouldn't be looking at. He's going to pump the price, or he might have someone slap a lockdown order on the house. You locked and loaded?
The Capitol has a ceiling, and my time has a ceiling. My primary fear isn't him spiking the price. It's us winning the title but getting dragged out before we can ever step inside.
I'll coordinate the structural engineers, the legal team, and continuous video logging. Getting inside safely is my problem to solve. Whether there's cargo inside is your call to make.
Now that looks like a partnership. Not one guy putting his life on the lie while the other just sits back and waits for the numbers.
Daddy, are you going out to bid on things again tomorrow?
Yeah. But I've got people stationed right by the hospital on standby. If anything pops up, I'm back instantly.
Then don't spend the money for my treatment. The folks at TV said blind auctions are just like gambling.
Your treatment money won't be touched by a single dime. Bidding on the property draws exclusively from the auction house partnership capital. Every single dollar has a lawyer and an accountant locking eyes on it.
Could you lose?
It's possible. But if I lose, I still come straight home. I'm not going to hide away.
Then get some sleep early. You've got dark circles under your eyes.
Understood, little doctor. $70,000. You still in, kid? $90,000.
Sold for $90,000.
$90,000 for a disposal tab? That one's gonna leave a scar for life.
You set me up?
I took a couple of looks, and you threw down $90,000 blind. The person who truly scammed you wasn't me. It was your own assumption that you're smarter than everyone else in the room.
Go clear the disposal proposite first. Those vintage oil drums require hazardous material processing. Don't let Grant pay for your education fees again.
You flashed the platel yourself. I didn't touch your hand by a single inch. You're not walking away with the primary residence either.
30 betting. This charred piece of crap isn't worth $70,000 even if you restore it flat.
If it's worthless, why the hell haven't you dropped your paddle? Mr. Howard, 10 more seconds and the house slips away.
You tossed down $90,000 for garbage and now you expect me to drop more cash instantly? Figure it out yourself.
Funding window closed. Your last bid is declared invalid.
Reversing to Sophia's bid at $75,000. Do I hear any higher offers?
It's not that he's out of money. Grant has already started turning on him.
When you run errands for a guy like that, a single loss means you're no longer in the inner circle. A new hazardous structure report was just flagged. Entry is entirely prohibited until structural verification clearance is processed. Congratulations. 75 grand to buy a charred frame you can only look at from the sidewalk. At least the front door isn't under your jurisdiction anymore. The primary frame can sustain short-term entry, but 0 alteration to the load-bearing walls is permitted, granting the buyer exactly 1 hour for inventory.
So once the hour strikes, regardless of whether the target files surface, everyone must clear out?
Correct. The wind direction is shifting, and thermal distortion in the roof grid could trigger further collapse. If you want the cargo, you need to keep your lives intact first. Whatever zones you flag as off-limits, we don't touch. Continuous video logging, and you can audit the toolkit yourself. The stop work order triggers in exactly 1 hour. You'd better pray the vault sproats legs and walks out on its own. Standing at the gate right on time tells me Grant didn't sleep at all last night.
The engineer stated the wall is strictly locked down. What's the play?
The wall structure is vintage. The brick base was patched in later. The mort color doesn't line up, and the screws don't track to the same era. The base carries 0 load. Clearance is approved, but 0 vibration to the primary wall structure is permitted.
Your hands are shaking.
The engineer handles the structural collapse vector. My panic is that the second the door cracks open and there's nothing but empty air inside.
If it's empty, the contractual loss hits the corporate ledger. It doesn't strip the flesh off your bones. Keep your hands steady.
Every time a bill went wrong before today, my name was the only one printed on it.
This time there are 2. Keep hammering.
15 minutes left on the clock.
Keep continuous video logging on the entire process. The second the files surface, lock them down in escrow. Don't go flipping pages all over the floor. I know. What I want this time is leverage that stands up in a courtrooms.
5 minutes remaining.
Two minutes left. Don't assume you have all day to rifle through the junk.
2 minutes left on the clock. You are exclusively permitted to cape the intact file jackets directly out of the vault. 0 opening, 0 page rifling inside the basement footprint.
The jacket numbers cross-reference perfectly with Cole's transfer log. Whether they're the original prints and whether the covenants legally bind the current owner requires page-by-page validation. But at the very least, we secured the leverage to force a judge to freeze the relocation. At least when court opens in tomorrow, we aren't walking in empty-handed.
Lock down the demolition freeze first. As for how long it holds, let the files and the judge do the talking.
The province of these files is completely untestified.
I wrote them.
You cannot lock them in escrow.
The foreclosure record, the source video logging, and the crating logs are all locked in.
If you have an objection, file a motion with the court. Keep your hands off the boxes.
Why the hell did Cole lock my accident report inside this exact vault? We can only verify both data sys's cleared through Cole's desk. Why they're locked in the same vault and who ordered him to preserve them, we track that down after the audit.
Scraps of paper preserved by a dead lawyer don't prove jack shit. Drop a price number, the house, the contents, the archives. I'll buy off the entire spread.
You weaponized my daughter's critical sickness to cut a deal, and now you want to buy out my past?
Dignity doesn't clear a surgical invoice. You should know that better than anyone, pal.
Which is exactly why I build bankroll. But I build bankroll to secure my footing, not to put myself up for sale a second time.
These materials are enough to seek an emergency stay.
A long-term injunction depends on our authentication of the rider.
If the old port records pass authenticity and provenance checks, investigators can reopen the case.
You knew all along that batch of pipelines was compromised, and you knew exactly that I wasn't anywhere near the zone when the incident went down.
Pending the completion of the authentication, you cannot use a few scraps of yellowed paper to halt a perfectly legal development project. The Folloger auction was fully recorded on video, and the files were sealed on-site by county officials. These residents have called this place home for over 20 years. If you demolish their homes before the antification is done, they won't have a place to return to even if they win.
The relocation is officially stayed for 90 days. The developer is strictly prohibited from shutting off water or power. The rider will be sent to the state lab for authentication, and the old port incident files will be investigated under a separate case.
A 90-day stay isn't a win. It just delays their eviction by 90 days.
You used 12 years to crush me. Now 90 days is more than enough time for me to flip this ledger open page by page. The photos and the original assessment prove someone shifted the corroded pipelines prior to the incident. But without that third page, there is zero way to prove who authorized it or who pulled the strings. Who exactly drafted this raw assessment?
The safety engineer, Robert Kane. He passed away 8 years ago. The estate dispute just settled this exact week, and the final batch of his effects was just cleared for liquidation.
Which auction house is handling it? Lambert Auctions. Vince. The exact same middleman from that fake pink diamond.
Where the hell are Kane's effects right now? Whoever intercepted that third page 8 years ago might have slipped it right into this batch of estate effects.
The preview opens tomorrow. You're coming back to the house with me.
Played by the legendary singer Nolan during his final tour, preserved in the private collection of engineer Kane. Estimated value sits at $400,000.
The photos and the backstory are real, but the guitar is an absolute fake. Boss, since when do we let a warehouse grimp into a premium showcase to give appraisals?
Since the exact day he saved your house from a $300,000 counterfeit diamond disaster.
Sophia, this is a $400,000 premium showcase, not a salvage yard. Before you let him run his mouth, you'd better consider exactly who is backing the firm's credibility. Credibility is forged through thorough inspection, not by kicking out the guy asking questions.
This package comes with a manifest written in Kane's own hand, plus tour photos. If you snap a single string, you can't afford the liability.
The photos are real, and the manifest might be authentic too. The guitar isn't. I locked in a $400,000 guarantee on this lot. The auction opens tomorrow, and you're letting his words tank our corporate credibility?
If it's authentic, what the hell are you terrified of a recheck for?
Stripping down the frame leaves permanent alterations. If clients discover we're pivoting on an outsider's whim, it tanks the house first.
The piece holding the real weight is hidden right inside the amplifier. Halt this exact lot immediately. Lock down the entire setup right where it sits. The guitar isn't the primary target we need to audit.
Jack clocked the guitar as a fake, and now he's locked his eyes on the amplifier.
Didn't you swear you cleared out every single shred of Kane's archives?
Don't let him open it. The old port contract Grant promised you is enough to protect your senior position.
If the master tapes or the files are still hidden inside, it's not just the chair I'm losing. Without pulling the back plate, I can only verify the cosmetic aging matches the era. I cannot drop a final conclusion.
Hear that? If you can't back up your mouth with hard proof, hand the seller an apology. Plus clear $100,000 in damages for stalling my showcase listing.
If it's truly worth $400,000, why the hell are you terrified of opening a simple back plate?
Because you don't have the damn right to touch it! Since you're forcing the teardown, sign this.
If it checks out as genuine, the liabilities and breach fees are entirely on you.
Clause 12 explicitly grants the House authorization to open non-structural plats for validation rechecks. The House absorbs the risk per the contract terms. You don't get to push a personal guarantee onto my consultant.
Let Mason audit the terms first. Whatever liability is rightfully mine, I don't dodge. But I'm not signing a blind guarantee. The precisionators tracked to a batch from 5 years ago. The solder joints and body routing are entirely modern processing. This is not a 1959 original frame. The seller forged the lot. I'm just a victim of the scam too. You didn't even pull the back plate. So on what grounds did you stamp a $400,000 guarantee?
That vintage amp isn't part of the listing!
The manifest explicitly states the entire recording setup, including the amplifier.
If this truly holds Nolan's original unreleased master tapes, a conservative valuation hits the $1 million tier easily.
It blows that $400,000 fake guitar out of the water.
A minute ago, you pinned Kane's name to guarantee a fake guitar. Now that the real asset surfaces, you claim it's got zero connection to Kane. Pick one of those lies to lock in. Because you're caught flat.
Do not hit play yet. We can see the preservation state of the tapes, but the copyright chains and estate successions are completely dark. Have the legal team and the specialists on site first. The vocal print, the opening count-in, and the tape batch codes match perfectly. The preliminary audit tracks this to Nolan's final rehearsal session prior to his passing. The final verdict waits on material and tape continuity testing.
That thing belongs to me! You don't have the damn right to play it!
The estate manifest covers the entire recording array. You weaponized a fake guitar to scam a corporate guarantee while trying to smuggling out the real master tapes. Save those words for the police. I had zero clue the tapes were hidden inside. The guarantee line was approved because Lucas scammed me with forged documentation of Kane's estate.
The audit log shows the legal team demanded a recheck, and you personally struck it out.
You didn't misread the lot. You were actively laundering a fake into a legitimate auction for them.
Grant only promised to route the old port liquidation contract to our house. I figured it was just pumping asset valuations. I had zero clear it involved counterfeits. The exact second you scratched out that recheck mandate, you lost the right to call this misreading the merchandise.
Vince has more than this one batch. You've blocked their route through the auction house. Grant will first cut off your consulting credentials.
Then use the loss of income against your medical authority case.
Freeze. Run the drive mirror and calculate the hash values first. If you click one more time, lawyers will claim we forged the deletion logs ourselves.
Secure the access logs, the backups, and the payout routing. Jack, head straight to the hospital. We locked down this perimeter.
Third page wasn't destroyed. It was systematically transferred out in advance. Secure the log footprint. The second we crack the corresponding unit code Persitive made as synth, we chain Kane's estate straight to the Old Port incident. The tracking alert from the hospital just pinged. Lily's watch was unbuckled. What happened to the watch?
That mister said I need to transfer to a different hospital to shoot some photos.
The Howard Foundation is perfectly willing to transfer her to a partner room. Media will document the entire life-saving pipeline. You should be thanking me. Her treatment team didn't clear it, and the primary caregiver didn't clear it either.
I am her mother, and I signed the release. The emergency order has locked the current phase of treatment and transfer decision-making exclusively to Jack. This foundation release cannot alter the active medical plan.
You think one temporary order makes you safe? What Gerald left behind will soon bring the auction house and your accounts to a halt.
The harder you try to weaponize the hospital and my kid to block my path, the more certain I am that the Old Port files hold exactly what you're terrified of.
Will what happened today be included in the next guardianship hearing report? This isn't a thank you gift. You protect the company from risk, and the company pays for your professional judgment.
The contract balances authority and liability perfectly, which she mind my confident of Rismoventral Colavenus less Spence report, which pins down a consistent income stream for the court.
Following the master tape close, your post-tape consulting cut is projected at $180,000. The regulatory board just received a flag claiming Jack bypassed protocol to issue appraisal verdicts as an unaccredited external consultant. Pending the audit, your consulting access is frozen, and the House's clearance for the annual port contract review is shifted to pending re-verification.
He's not just trying to slash a few paydays. He wants to present a record of unstable employment to the family court judge.
Then we take your credentials, the double slogs, and every single signature you logged and push for a public audit. However, they froze your access, we win it right back.
Sold for $1,400,000.
Look at you, actually acting like a consultant now. Audit the net yield first, ignore the big vanity numbers.
Wire the entire cut straight into Lily's medical trust.
Including what was already secured, we now have $380,000. With Lily's 8-week surgical window, we're still $120,000 short. But for the first time, the finish line is in sight. With your current income trajectory, we could look into significantly more upscale residential grid.
I need a safe place near the hospital and a child's bedroom that catches the morning light. The address isn't for impressing other people. The down payment pulls from the camera unit liquidation cut and your previously logged consulting revenue. The mortgage clearance anchors to your long-term consulting salary. That $180,000 tape cut remains fully locked in Lily's trust. Not a single dime was shifted.
Is this truly my very own bedroom?
It always has been. Before today, Daddy could only secure a folding bunk for you. Now, I can finally hand you the door and the key together.
Nobody is going to evict us, right?
As long as Daddy clears the mortgage logs on the dot, nobody can just show up and swap the locks on this door. Your medicine, your bed, everything has its own permanent spot. For 2 straight years, Jack has been the sole provider of Lily's daily care and custody. Rachel didn't cough up a single dime, yet recently she's been systematically signing media waivers and transfer forms, actively compromising the child's therapy. Jack's revenue line anchors to high-risk blind auctions, and the property was just purchased. Rachel's joint decision-making rights should be sustained as a necessary check and balance.
I am not fighting for custody, and I don't want her living under my roof. What I refuse to carry is her medical debt liability, and I will not let Jack dump the entire burden onto my tab.
Guardianship rights cannot be hoarded exclusively when they're lucrative and discarded the second the daily care load lands on your desk.
A temporary motion doesn't turn your capital into a stable income stream, loser. At least it bars your hands from touching the kid in that hospital bed ever again.
Keep tracking her oxygen levels. If the numbers don't bounce back within 2 minutes, call for an emergency ambulance instantly.
You are permitted inside, but slip on the shoe cuts first. Do not agitate her. Every single medication log and call record is laid out on the table.
Daddy didn't leave. He's been right here the entire night.
Congenital heart conditions trigger sudden episodes without warning. Jack's medication timing, logs, and emergency call execution were entirely precise. Zero delay.
The property meets all standard criteria perfectly. The anonymous flag contains verified fraudulent data, and I will explicitly state that in the official record.
Please preserve the exact call timeline and routing number. The source behind this flag isn't worried about Lily. They're trying to manufacture a record of negligence to weaponize against me.
You don't need to shoulder every single crisis alone. I can run shifts, and Mom and Dad can pitch in too.
You take Tuesdays and Thursdays. Mom and Dad handle the weekends. I'm done treating I can take the hit as a viable care plan. Hit his income. Once his consulting access is suspended, the bank will review his mortgage, and family court will question where the ongoing care money is coming from.
I told you, I don't give a damn about having custody of Lily. Once my asset share clears, the judge can award him sole rights for all I care.
You can't sign a transfer form, but that doesn't mean you're useless. As long as the final custody order isn't finalized, your marriage is a viable anchor to pin him down in court.
The laundromat building is hitting foreclosure auction. The notice states the oncoming buyer has the right to clear out the active 10-6 flat.
Snap a photo of the notice and route it to Mason. Tomorrow morning, we audit the lease terms first. Don't rush into dropping a bid number.
You just cleared my back rent. I refuse to let you sink more cash into this hole on my account.
Don't you have ties to Sophia? Have her buy out the entire building.
With this many storefronts under us, the rental yields are pure profit.
First, figure out how to protect Emma instead of calculating how much rent you could collect. The preliminary disclosure is missing any terms that explicitly shield the business. I'm pulling the complete registry. Until the data syncs, we map out the worst case scenario for negotiation or bidding. The machinery holds residual value, but that doesn't mean the property frame is worth buying out. A building isn't a treasure chest, sis. If we misread the liability lines, it drags the whole family down with it.
Then we pass on it. The fact that you turned around to throw me a lifeline once is more than enough for me. The auction house needs a compliant facility for cleaning and cataloging textile collectibles. We buy the building, the laundromat becomes the anchor client, and the other storefronts remain rented. This isn't charity. It's a business project.
What's the cost ceiling?
$420,000. The second it ticks past, you drop the paddle. No emotional bidding.
Mr. Howard, they are verified as preparing to bid on the lot.
The machinery itself functions normally. The real bleeding edge is the pipeline utility rights. The court's amended disclosure left the lines completely dark.
I'm moving for an amended disclosure today. Since the utility lines are dark, the court should delay the auction rather than forcing a buyer to litigate a rescission lawsuit post-HAMA. Audit the boundary crossing section of the pipeline first. If the liability tracks with the upper structure title, we lock our calculations to our floor alone. It's not alone. We don't shield the entire building's debt.
You're out here hunting for where we lose cash before you ever hunt for the profit line. That's the only reason I have the guts to stand at the auction block with you.
It just ticked to 400 grand. If you don't flash the paddle right now, the shop is gone.
The ceiling is 420,000. Protocols aren't written to be tossed out the window the second you face a headwind.
420,30,000.
Aren't you supposed to be backing your sister up, kid? 10 grand is all it takes to axe your family devotion line?
Drop the panel. I'd rather shift locations entirely than watch you dive into a hole on my account.
To confirm, in addition to the $430,000 purchase price, the buyer assumes the $220,000 shared utility upgrade obligation.
Verified. As long as the upper title sits in my hands, her floor won't see a single smooth day.
The liabilities and restrictions have been fully disclosed. Sold for $430,000.
You didn't burn cash just to beat his ego.
Pride isn't about burning money for your enemy. It's about making sure you never have to beg a landlord again.
Learn how to itemize the daily ledger properly first, then talk about whose cash you're managing. The public audit cleared. Your consultant access is fully restored, and the house is cleared to enter the annual port review matrix. We need top marks across all 3 compliance vectives to secure the 3-year master contract saldovisity.
Mr. Howard, the next grid is mapped to wipe them out flat in a single move. Didn't he pull treasures out of a salvage dumpster? Then let's hand him a vault full of gold he can look at, but can never move. The more premium the cargo, the faster a single misstep buries him deep. The value of the watches, gold bars, and diamond rings is substantial. We cannot rule out the possibility that Jack concealed these collections prior to the divorce and only recently liquidated them. The luxury watch was obtained through a public liquidation after the divorce. The gold bars and diamond rings were salvage goods written off as back wages, fully backed by paper transfers. Invoices, surveillance logs, transaction records, and tax filings, every single line tracks perfectly.
Do you possess a single shred of evidence proving these items belong to the household during the marriage?
No. I just have my suspicions.
Suspicions are nowhere near enough to freeze a sick child's treatment funds.
What you won today is just the judge's patience, loser. Crack a single bad debt in the next blind auction, and that patience runs out flat. Then keep your eyes glued to my tab. My bad debts hit the corporate ledger. Your ledger is tracking straight into an evidence bag sooner or later.
The notice explicitly stated the foundation would cover the deficit. Now they're telling me to cough up $30,000 myself. Where the hell am I supposed to find that?
The school said there's a foundation event tomorrow, and they want the parents to sign this tonight.
Let's take it home. We'll go over it with Uncle Mason. Please give me a way to check the records publicly. The children's photos have already been used. Every parent deserves to know whether the money actually arrived.
Two primary sponsors for the port review matrix are also listed on the Foundation's donor sheet. If this empty pledge leaks, they'll pull their names first. Then audit the resources we routed to Victoria.
Pump tomorrow's charity gala even bigger. Massive ceremonial, checks, media crews, and the sick kids. Not a single element can be missing.
You promised me I'd step out publicly as the official face of the foundation. Now that the account is empty, I'm the one who looks like a damn fool.
The cameras only capture the check. They don't audit the liquidation settlement date.
What about the baby in my belly? You promised him a written share of the Howard family trust.
Your house, your doctors, and your future all come from me. Smiling on that stage tomorrow is the least you can do.
The teacher wants me to state the foundation cleared the entire balance and that Mommy stayed by my side every single day.
This isn't your schoolwork, sweetie. It's their commercial. You owe nobody a performance.
The family court has already barred Rachel from signing any media waivers for Lily. If the school still executes that outdated waivers tomorrow, we secure full video logs.
Mia audited the hospital's public ledgers against the foundation's annual reports. That $500,000 ceremonial check only exists in publicity photos. 0 wire logs exist.
He's already weaponized sick kids' photos to buy applause. I'm not letting Lily validate his fraud just because I'm terrified of the next auction block.
Will Daddy be there?
I'll sit where you can see me. If you want to stop, just look at me.
Foundation flagged you as a potential disruption risk. Your name was systematically scratched from the updated list.
I am Lily's father, and I'm the primary emergency contact registered with this school.
Forcing your way in right now just gives them the footage to cut a narrative about a hostile father.
I won't force it. Mason, turn over my custody decree and Rachel's voided waive straight to the school's legal dead defection. Keep continuous video logging on the transfer.
Please share with everyone exactly how Mommy and the Howard Foundation stayed by your side through your entire treatment.
It wasn't like that at all.
Just read the script, sweetie.
Mommy walked away. Daddy and Aunt Emma were the only ones who stayed with me at the hospital the whole time.
Stop talking nonsense.
If you make your mother look bad, the school and the doctors won't like you very much. Take your hand off her.
A man who suddenly struck cold on salvage auctions is out here questioning institutional charity?
I'm not asking a single soul to take my word for it. Just audit this $500,000 check right now and see if the hospital has received a single dollar flat.
Did I say something wrong, Daddy?
You spoke the absolute truth about what you lived through, sweetie. You did perfectly.
Charity funding disperses systematically based on project milestones. Only an outsider completely ignorant of proportion protocols would twist a minor delay into a fraud.
This is the Foundation's public ledger cross-referenced against the hospital's verified intake records. The pledge was signed 3 months ago. The current balance cleared stands at 0.
You weaponized my child's photo for your campaign and you didn't pay a single dime?
The foundation isn't an ATM. Every project has to be reviewed.
You take 3 months to review a child's case, but you can shoot a promotional video in 1 day. You're not saving them. You're using their illness to buy applause.
The source of his rapid capital engine remains under active investigation. A warehouse grunt suddenly coughing up hundreds of thousands. Doesn't that smell dirty to anyone else?
His financial track record was reviewed, and your firm's objections were systematically thrown out by a judge just this morning. Mr. Howard, the floor is yours to produce the actual wire confirmation logs. The money goes directly to the hospital. The child doesn't owe me a single word of thanks.
The corporate ambassadorship, the family trust allocations, and the estate properties you guaranteed me? Were they all built on a dummy check?
Don't forget, without me, you wouldn't even be standing here.
My daddy has never forced me to read a thank you script. He only ever asks me if I'm hurting today.
Okay.
Circle line.
You honestly think tearing down a few billboards is going to shield your consulting reputations at the port?
The billboards can be cut down flat, but the hospital's empty ledgers and the words spoken by these kids cannot be systematically erased.
Stop talking about down the road. Turn over the finalized trust allocation files right here, right now.
You completely tanked the entire media event today, and you expect me to sign off on trust files?
So from the very beginning, all you ever wanted in her sickness.
Without me, you'd still be a poor worker's ex-wife. Don't think you're more important than you are.
Does this mean I never have to call her mommy ever again?
Whatever name you want to use is entirely your call, sweetie. Nobody can force you to perform a fake family narrative.
I am perfectly capable of beating Sophia clean, but I'm not breaking federal law on your account.
Zero law breaking required. Just ensure every single appraisal Jack makes turns into a high-dollar liability trap.
His outfit barely managed to scrape together a few forklifts and standard liability packets. The bare disposal fees will crush his logistics flat.
I want exclusive 3-year partnership rights to the old port warehouse sector.
The second your name hits the final candidate pool,
the 3-year sum track for the Howard Logistics Grid is yours. As for the review committee, I'll ensure the evaluation tracks incredibly smoothly.
We can pay the deposit, but where are we going to find the crew?
The exact crew I hauled freight with before today. Some were scammed out of back wages. Others had their careers systematically crushed by corporate incident reports. I'm handing them legitimate contracts and full corporate liability coverage. I have an hourly rate job backed by comprehensive insurance coverage. Are you ready to charge back into a warehouse grid with me one more time?
All right. I'll bring a few old colleagues who are still willing to enter a warehouse.
"12 years ago, the corporation mandated we swore you violated safety protocols. We were all terrified of losing our livelihoods, so not a single soul spoke up for you. Now you're turning around to offer us a contract?
The ledger from 12 years ago isn't going to vanish because you sign a paper today. But this freight job is something you know how to execute.
And I clear payouts strictly by the book. Whether you sign is entirely your own call.
The review matrix doesn't just calculate the value you ungerve. Chemicals, illegal weaponry, biohazard waste. The second you spot a single item, freeze operations and flag it. A single violation disqualifies the entire crew flat.
This specific rig cannot enter operations.
This rig stays dead. The inspection certificate was issued this morning. Do you understand the machine or only the paperwork?
I may not understand your certificate, but I can see fluid leaking from the line. Remove the protective panel now.
You didn't just save our matrix score, kid. If the brakes blow out under a full load, the ground crew takes the entire hit.
Lock onto that exact hydraulic failure. Whoever spots a risk possesses the absolute right to pull the emergency brake. Halting operations incurs 0 payroll cuts.
Jack, Sophia, I'm not before the deadline.
The emergency procedure was compliant, but the policy limits each person to 10 consecutive hours of work.
Beyond that, the work is no longer covered at the standard rate.
Split the crew into 2 shifts. Patch in the night crew immediately. Nobody is going to shave premium costs at the expense of absolute worker fatigue.
"12 years ago, I was too afraid to speak up. Today, I'll be the first to say something.
The contract was signed last night. The rigs were lented this morning, and your entire deployment lead is handwritten. An outfit like this expects to handle a 48-hour logistics cleanout?
Which is exactly why every single name on the manifest has a verified backup, and every rig is trailed by a spare. You possess the right to look down on my crew, that's fine. Just don't miscalculate their capacity.
The team that locks down the highest cumulative net recovery value across 3 rounds while clearing every candidate slot for the 3-year Portmaster contract. Any illegal dumping drops the round's valuation straight to 0. A critical compliance failure triggers immediate disqualification from the tournament. A $250,000 lot can be swallowed by $260,000 in rigging, restoration, and storage costs. That puts your score at negative 10,000. Stop confusing appraised value with profit.
I audit the operational cost projections before I ever lock my eyes on the unit door. I suggest you do the exact same thing, pal. The frame and the original block match perfectly. The true calculation we need to execute covers the heavy rigging, logistics transit, and actual restoration lines. His patchwork outfit is only running a single pre-owned flatbed. Even if he snaps up the vehicle title, he doesn't possess the capacity to haul it away.
Logistics can be rented instantly. But the restoration liabilities dictate the actual ceiling. Without verified metrics, I refuse to blindly spike the bid numbers for you.
24 grand flat to buy rotted wood and rusted steel. The second the cleanout finishes, you're left with nothing but an empty unit photo. The engine block and chassis codes line up perfectly. Post-restoration valuation confidently hits $250,000. Heavy rigging, enclosed logistics, and standard restoration drain roughly $60,000, minus the 24 grand purchase price and facility fees. It leaves a massive net yield.
She locked down the end buyer before the door ever cracked up. You beat her on the merchandise, but she only lost by a $3,000 margin on logistics costs.
She knows how to parse her own numbers. The second Grant tries to execute calculations on her account, that ship sinks.
You beat her on the merchandise, but she only lost by a $3,000 margin on logistics costs.
She knows how to parse her own numbers. The second Grant tries to execute calculations on her account, that ship sinks.
Next round, I'll be watching what vehicles you bring in, which workers you assign, and what kinds of goods you budget for. I'm going to be knees for to Sarah the budget.
Logistics and crews can be systematically adjusted. The components you can never skim on are safety, compliance, and absolute accountability. Those aren't returns. It's an entire unit of counterfeit goods. That will cost $20,000 to destroy. The manifest is locked in. It's all insurance liquidations. That's the only reason the external crates were weathered intentionally.
You don't even have the balls to flash your paddle this round?
Harrison handed you the paper, but you were the one who flashed the paddle. The second the hammer falls, your name is the only one printed on the tab. The hardware metrics are flawless, but whether they can be liquidated legally depends entirely on a regulatory compliance audit.
$12,000 US.
Authentic hardware doesn't substitute for verified chain of custody, sir. If your outfit breaks the seals or initiates pre-sale marketing campaigns prior to the legal audit, the unit's valuation drops straight to zero. Seal the unit right where it sits. The cargo value is my calculation. Whether we can legally liquidate it waits until your division and the courts finish the audit. The internal moffle explicitly flagged that unit as hazardous medical waste. Those crates are going to sit on their ledger as a dead loss.
120 ground for replica bags versus 210,000 for verified medical assets. Every single line on this sheet you handed me was designed to bleed my operation dry. Next unit, produce hard source documentation.
The Victoria outfit logs a round score of negative $140,000. 120 grand close price, plus an additional 20 grand in validation and destruction tabs.
You'd better pray to God that unit actually holds nothing but garbage inside.
Why aren't you charging inside to unearth the treasure, kid? Terrified the crates are packed with an infectious disease?
Clear the security perimeters and verification chains first. The guys who are always rushing to grab the cargo aren't chasing profit. They're terrified everyone else will spot their blunders first. The serial codes trace perfectly, and the factory warranty has exactly 1 year remaining. The second they clear diagnostic verification, they're fully authorized for secondary liquidation. Liquidate 4 units through standard channels. Route the remaining 2 directly to the Children's Hospital based on the internal cost breakdown of this lot. The donation must execute complete take, inspection, and maintenance agreements. We don't use market valuations.
Those 2 units command a market valuation pushing $70,000. If you surrender that asset line, the candidate squad could easily slip away with it.
You can make up lost ground in the rankings. But if a hospital bed is missing a machine, you may never get that child back.
You donated premium hardware lines without scrambling the logistic ledgers? Fine, I take the hit on this round.
This round calculates strictly on legally binding net contract values.
If the contract breaks within 7 days, the score is systematically rescinded.
The unit at Terminal 17 was abandoned under a subsidiary's delinquent storage balance long ago. Its disposition rights just hit the port auction registry. Swap the cargo manifest to read scrap construction piping. If Jack locks down the container, file a hazardous leak flag immediately to freeze the unit door.
That container still preserves the original project samples and the liability insurance files from 12 years ago. The second that door cracks open, it's not just our credentials we lose.
Which is exactly why it can never open, pal. Have Victoria spite the bid numbers past Jack's hard ceiling, then have Harrison's new corporate shell buy the title back. We only deploy the contamination leak flag if Jack wins the hammer. You took the cash 12 years ago. You don't possess the right to act clean now.
The counterfeit bag unit wasn't your bait. I fell for it because I trusted the internal manifest Harrison handed me blindly.
At an auction, the answers someone hands you can cost more than what you can't see.
The final round is for unacclaimed shipping containers with bids in the hundreds of thousands. You can walk away from a storage unit.
But once you buy a container, there is no way back. If you keep letting one sick child make your business decisions, you will lose.
Sell what should be sold and donate what should be donated. Winning doesn't mean turning everything into your own money.
12 unclaimed shipping cabinets. You may inspect only the seals, exterior, and abbreviated manifers. Customs verification and removal must be completed within 3 days. If a container is lawfully withdrawn because of undisclosed title defects or criminal evidence status, the transaction is void and the payment is returned through the original channel. The score returns to where it stood before the container was drawn. The champion earns statusicity for the old port liquidation.
Ocean freightweight containers are packed with smuggling risks, hazardous materials, and title complications. Opening a high-value cargo doesn't guarantee you can legally cash out.
That's why Mason, the customs broker, and the hazmat team all need to be part of the crew. My ability can show me what's inside, not who owns it. This isn't a treasure chest. It's the exact evidence they tried to bury in the dark a second time.
You recognize that specific serial code?
Prior to the catastrophe 12 years ago, that batch was the final manifest I signed for. The corporate court report swore it was systematically destroyed. Yet it sits right here on the concrete. The final round isn't just a tournament. Grant wants to take the evidence that didn't burn clean 12 years ago and bury it flat one last time.
I can testify that this container number appeared in the records. But I didn't see what was inside.
Only speak to what you saw with your own eyes. We already paid a lifelong price for trying to finish someone else's narrative layout. We don't repeat that blunder. The film reels aren't damp, but I can't tell who owns them.
Starting bid, $30,000.
20,000.
What's the matter? Smelled the rot and lost your balls, kid? Water-damaged furniture equals a 3-truck clean-out liability, and mold protection adds separate overhead. Praise the film reels at 0 value before the title chain is verified. Bidding ceiling is $35,000 flat. The liquidation records show that when the studio dissolved, it transferred the necklaves and copyrights to the State Cultural Foundation. You cannot sell them privately, but the foundation has posted a reward for locating these masters. Once they are transferred through customs, you can receive $120,000 in preservation compensation.
120 grand isn't an auction payout, kid. Detract the clean-out costs, and what the hell is left on your tab?
Deducting all overhead, it leaves a clean net profit of 68 grand. As for your 90 grand pile of scrap tires, do you want me to coordinate a flatbed to pick them up for you?
Seeing something valuable doesn't mean you can put it in your pocket. First ask who owns it, then ask what it's worth.
I checked this container. You'd better stay out of the bidding.
The motorcycle is valuable, but the crate with the replaced seal is what really determines this container's risk. Factor the crate in at a worst-case scenario deficit. Ceiling is $110,000 flat.
Before today, our only assignment was to haul the weight out flat. Not a single boss told us the cargo was illegal. And the grunts ended up taking the entire legal liability track.
Which is exactly why every single tampered seal, cargo manifest, and operational freeze requires a continuous log. The second you spot a hazard, halt operations flat. We are never letting the ground crew shield the corporation ever again. Aren't you supposed to be the blind auction king? If you've got real leverage, keep flashing the paddle. The bike itself holds 200 grand in value, but the tampered seal on the side crater screams a massive liability trap. Pushing past 110,000 is nowhere near worth the risk vector.
105,000. Sack. The chassis and engine numbers both match. This round, I beat you on judgment and investigation.
The motorcycle will also be held temporarily. You must prove that you had no knowledge of the illegal cargo and cover the storage and legal costs.
The verified cargo manifest you handed me? Why the hell was this exact crate systematically omitted from the data?
Unclaimed containers get misloaded all the time. It's normal.
The next second you treat my operation like a shield to absorb Grant's liabilities?
Winning the bidding only secures the disposition rights. It buys you zero authorization to touch criminal evidence. The second a hazardous leak is verified inside, the keys clear straight to customs escrow, meaning we toss down the capital for the hammer, and we potentially walk away with zero cargo. Correct. 280 grand doesn't purchase the cargo inside. It exclusively purchases one outcome, ensuring the evidence doesn't vanish in the dark.
The cargo manifest Harrison fed me was completely fraudulent. For the final container, his directive was to spike the bid numbers blindly until you were forced to drop your paddle. Why are you telling us? I can destroy your outfit on the bidding floor, but I am not helping a corporate criminal systematically erase evidence. I still want the old port contract candidacy, but I'm going to win it clean on my own metrics.
The accident cabinet will be put up for auction ahead of schedule in 15 minutes.
I'm winning this matrix on my own terms. Whatever evidence you guys packed inside that container, whoever signs the contract absorbs the criminal liability clean.
Does the bidder verify full awareness of the hazardous material disposal covenants?
Verified. $200,000.
He's not buying the cargo, he's paying to keep people quiet. Our risk ceiling is $280,000.
The second it pushes past the ceiling, we drop the paddle. Driving ourselves to bankruptcy won't push the files into a courtroom. If the transaction tanks,
220,000, 240,000, 280,000.
310,000.
I am not flashing a paddle on an invalid bid number, and I am damn sure not destroying evidence for Grant.
The director of Harrison's shell company is the same person as the original cargo owner. This is an undisclosed related party bid.
I stripped down their rig deck for you, but I'm not underwriting your balance sheet. The $280,000 price and whatever hazard sits inside, you carry that weight alone now.
$280,000, voluntary reconfirmation verified.
A contamination report has been filed. Opening is suspended. No one may approach the container.
Congratulations, kid. $280,000 to buy a steel door you can never crack open.
The payroll and insurance funds are completely isolated in separate escrow. Even if the container stays dead and the project bleeds capital, not a single Grant loses a dime. The firm absorbs the risk. We don't bleed our workers to fill the deficit.
This entire line of capital could turn into a dead loss.
The risk ceiling was structured by both of us. A partnership doesn't mean you're an expert when we score profit, and you're entirely on your own the second a loss hits the tab.
Follow him. Zero physical contact. Just pin down his coordinates and log exactly where he lands.
Jack lacks any accredited hazardized material credentials. Leaving the asset in his hands compromises the entire safety grid of this port. The disposition title has legally vested, but the hazardous vectors and criminal evidence must pay exclusively under regulatory oversight. Since the original title holder faces massive contamination liability, letting them dictate the cleanup crew completely compromises the investigation.
I'm not touching the door, and I'm not hauling the container off the lot. Let your division execute the opening, the video logging, and the itemized code sampling. I exclusively retain the legal right to be on site as the purchasing witness.
If it's only a container of scrap pipes, you'll be responsible for hundreds of thousands in disposal costs.
That tab will be cleared per the auction rules I played by. Grant doesn't need to sweat on my account.
I only recorded video and didn't go near them. They said the seal had to be cleanly replaced before tomorrow morning's inspection.
Staking out a crate of toxic waste at midnight, you honestly think you're wearing a badge now, kid? I don't wear a badge, which is exactly why the video files were already routed straight to the enforcement units who do.
Someone tried to reproduce the original seal using old crimping plies. Before the container is opened tomorrow, everyone at the scene must register their fingerprints. Flying investigation with banks.
I never wanted anyone to get killed! 12 years ago, they swore it was just shifting a batch of pipelines, that nobody would take a hit!
Then you name exactly who they are. You can be afraid. You can ask for leniency. But tell us whose money you took, which container you switched, and whom you protected with your silence. Do not leave out a single name.
The raw engineering files stated it plain as day. That line of pipelines was a ticking time bomb.
Grant ordered the worst of the corroded batch funneled into an abandoned container, then pinned the entire structural failure onto Jack's tab.
They just adding me påfört ett pejlar Jack's titter.
He said Jack was just a temporary contract grunt. Broke, zero legal representation, and not a single soul would ever step out to speak for him.
They locked onto my name not because I was closest to the disaster footprint, but because I was furthest from a lawyer. 12 years ago, you couldn't afford a lawyer. Today, that fact will be entered into the case record.
If there really is hazardous waste inside, then Jack put the entire port at risk just to hunt for treasure. He still hasn't raised the full $500,000 for his daughter's surgery, yet he gambled $280,000 on a container of rusty metal. Customs will open the container, and the environmental authorities will take the samples. I bought it so the original owner couldn't move it again. $280,000 for rusty scrap? Looks like even your magic eyes can be blind.
Based on what we can see, disposal will cost at least $400,000, unless Customs confirms that it was undisclosed criminal evidence before the auction and rescinds the sale will drop from first place to last.
I never bought it for its net value.
His daughter is waiting for surgery, yet he put $280,000 into a container of rusty metal. Do you really believe a man like that can protect her treatment money? 12 years ago, I believed your damn report and blamed my son for 12 years. Today, even if the container is full of rusty scrap, I'll wait until the government finishes its investigation. I don't believe a word you say.
The sample seals are dated 12 years ago, and their numbers match the original assessment from the old port accident.
The origin of these items is unknown. Anyone could have placed them in the hidden compartment beforehand.
The intake seal, movement records, and exterior scans form a continuous chain. There is no record of the container ever being officially opened. The only attempted seal replacement happened last night, and the people in the video are from your side. Spay. What does one ledger prove? Business transactions are not the same as a crime. Then why did Harrison bid up to $310,000 for your affiliated company just to buy back a container of scrap pipes?
He told my team to bid up the price for the original owner and concealed protected animal products. My team is willing to cooperate.
We won!
We won the competition, but we haven't won the fight over what happened 12 years ago. The original drive will go to the forensic lab for imaging. For now, the ledger only shows where the money went. We need to decrypt the copy to learn what the orders said.
Don't go spinning random codes on the encryption block. Kane organized his archive strictly by corporate project codes. The layout of the payment ledgers likely anchors to the exact same matrix. File the project codes straight into the forensic request sheet. Nobody touches the source drive. You map the vector, but the data validation happens exclusively on the drive mirror inside the lab.
Too many failed attempts will lock the drive. The original is sealed in evidence custody, and we cannot blindly guess on the copy either. We have to identify the pattern first.
My vision only verifies the drive casing holds 0 physical deformities. You can't read through encrypted code blocks. We need to isolate the pattern from the ledgers and logistics logs.
Those aren't dates, they are the charity gala allocation codes. Every single dirty wire log was anchored straight to a fake humanitarian campaign.
Shift the corroded pipeline batch out of the zone immediately. Frame the safety liability onto the shift loader on duty. Clear it out with a minor compensation payout and close the file. Make a copy, verify the hash, then listen. You've waited 12 years. Don't give them a chance to challenge the evidence.
The bank has only suspended new credit for the auction house. Existing wages and Lily's medical trust are outside the scope of the asset freeze order.
The paddles can stay down for a minute. The roof over Lily's bed is something not a single soul can pull down flat.
Is that really your voice on the recording?
The media will only play the most frightening line. All you have to do is stand beside me at the investor's reception.
What about the trust documents you promised me and the baby? These aren't my signatures.
Your name is valuable. Let me borrow it for one night. Once the money comes in tomorrow, anything on paper can be changed. You're not going anywhere until the reception is over. The baby in your belly needs a father without a scandal. Without an active inside leak, what sane bidder throws down $280,000 to buy a container of hazardous construction scrap?
I recognized the container number and noticed that the bottom panel did not match, so I judged that something was hidden inside. But I didn't know who owned it, so before opening it, I asked customs and environmental officials to witness the process.
Are you testifying under oath that you can see inside a sealed container?
I've been hauling freight and liquidating salvage for years. I calculate weights, corrosion vectors, Revit anomalies, and structural volume. But an appraisal can miss the mark flat. What forces the evidence to stand up in court isn't my eyes. It's the verified transaction trail, the custom seals, and the continuous video logging. The bidding ceilings were hard code in writing prior to the tournament, and Victoria extracted 0 financial yield from the final hammer. 0 shadow come English exists.
I wanted to beat him, not collude with him. I helped him in the final round because Grant wanted to use my team to destroy evidence.
He tried to commix 3 separate ledgers into a single dirty account. Luckily, we kept the barriers hard locked from day one.
The drive has already been decrypted. Continuing the financing will add another criminal charge.
We push the funding round, or the entire firm triggers bankruptcy tomorrow morning. You honestly assume the fraudulent manifests you sign clue from the indictment sheet?
The exact second the summit closes, wire the funds to the offshore routing. Even if Jack wins a court verdict down the road, he'll be auditing nothing but an empty shell corporation. We're strapped to the exact same sinking ship now.
Whoever jumps the railing first, I ensure they hit the bottom of the ocean. Before the ship ever goes down.
The internal evidence jackets faced 0 physical contact from the bidding team's post-intake.
The opening, the false floor TED-down, and the core sampling, executed strictly under continuous government video logging. The price-fixing allegations are declared completely unfounded. The operational credentials for Sophia's house are fully restored, and Jack's outfit is officially verified as the first-place winner of the review matrix.
The drive audio, Vince's sworn deposition, and the physical pipeline cutouts cross-reference perfectly. The prosecution is locking down the financial paper trail right now.
The payroll cleared, and the hospital verified the trust balance is fully locked down. Today, not a single outstanding invoice is chasing your tail, Jack.
Do not discard that vintage liability report just yet. I want Lily to see with her own eyes that a scrap of paper can crush a man for 12 years.
It can be corrected clean by a proper line of justice.
What the hell are you hunting for in there?
You weaponized my name and my baby to act as a shield for your corporate debt assets?
The capital injection will clear flawlessly. The second you stand on that stage, the underwriting divisions don't see a liability column. They only see the Howard family guarantee.
And if the funding round collapses flat?
The second you walk out that door, the lines of credit, the corporate debt, and every single signature clear straight onto your personal tab.
By then, you're just an emotionally compromised woman trying to raise a kid alone. Do you honestly think the banks and the judge
will back your word or mine?
The address line is locked on my interface. But I'm not moving a single inch to that house. The crew that needs to knock on that door wears badges. It's zero business for my fists. She's turning over data exclusively for self-provocation, which means her historical liability isn't magically erased from the ledger. We only deploy the files that clear independent source verification. I am not trading Lily's visitation boundaries to secure the next evidence line. The evidence stands on its own. My daughter's parameters are completely non-negotiable.
The second the summit closes, the funds route offshore. If you have the balls to walk away right now, every single line of credit and the kids' expenses land square on your tab.
Execute the extraction protocol per your standard operating procedures. Lily stays completely outside the frame. Keep the residential coordinates in the hospital ward completely scrubbed from any documentation she has access to.
You turn the individual over to enforcement while locking Lily safe behind the front door. You map the boundaries perfectly clean.
I just refuse to sit back and watch Grant deploy the exact same formula to crush another life flat. Whatever debt she owes Lily, it doesn't vanish because of this file. The moment you walk out, you lose the house, the doctors, and the trust for your child.
I walked out on Jack because I was terrified of being flat broke. I am not serving a prison sentence on your account, and I damn sure won't let you dump your corporate liabilities onto the baby in my belly.
You honestly assume Jack is stepping out to throw you a lifeline?
I don't need a lifeline from him. I am turning over every single scrap of paper you pushed me to sign clean to the investigators.
The Investor Summit proceeds exactly as scheduled. Invite every single venture capitalist and media outlet in the grid. After tomorrow night, my name won't be pinned to this city ever again.
The evidence shows that Jack Wilson was not in the accident work zone at the time. The Port Authority is restoring his work credentials immediately.
Let the evidence decide the old case. What I want to know now is how many people who were injured, lost their jobs, or carried the blame are still waiting to hear. It wasn't your fault.
The part approved the clauses you asked to add.
Now that's a contract worth winning.
The most important thing this week is a mutating parent in Tunisia is keeping her calm and stable. Your team can handle the work.
Her treatment cannot be delayed again.
From this exact second until the surgery concludes, I am stepping completely away from the bidding floor.
If you don't go crack open the storage boxes, Daddy, is someone else going to snatch first place away?
First place can always be won back, sweetie. Your surgery isn't getting pushed back by a single day.
Sophia can run the company. This week, your dad belongs to you.
Bring me anything that needs my signature. Keep the investigation out of the ward, and don't make Lily worry about an adult case.
The school failed to verify the donation before pressuring the children to take part in publicity. We formally apologize
From now on, no donation may be conditioned on publicity. Is the foundation going to be branded under your name?
No. The money goes directly to the hospital. And no child has to stand outstay and thank me.
My daddy used to clock out incredibly late, and his clothes were always caked in dust. But he turned around to come back to the hospital every single day, and he never left me waiting alone in the dark.
I'm willing to testify. But I want a protective order and assurance that these debts won't be passed on to me or my child.
Lily stays out of this. And she won't meet you here. Tell the investigators everything you know.
I understand. Today I'm taking responsibility only for the papers I signed.
A protective order is not immunity. What you signed, what you knew, and whose public events you appeared at, you have to tell the whole truth.
The money can come from you, but you don't get to choose who receives the aid.
Do it that way. Life-saving aid shouldn't depend on who can cry for the cameras.
I don't want him using my picture anymore.
The evidence is enough to obtain search warrants, freeze accounts, and urgently block transfers. To prove this investment fraud, we still need him knowing about the contamination and forged permits to continue guaranteeing the project in his own words and begin collecting the money.
The final financing round needs a guarantee from the family trust in my name. He'll make me confirm Starsky that the project is safe.
Are you willing to attend wearing a wire?
Yes. I need to prove that he controlled the signatures and transfers, and need to protect my unborn child.
The moment you say the safe word, leave. Don't stay in his reach just to get one more sentence out of him.
I won't.
If things get out of control, say, "I'm feeling a little unwell," and leave immediately.
Grant invited you personally. He plans to accuse you in public of building your success on stolen business documents.
I'll stand in front of the cameras, but I'll follow the investigators on when to speak and when to stop.
Is that bad man going to hit you with a car again?
I'll have a lawyer with me, and the police will be there. I'll only carry documents. I won't hit anyone.
Then press this exact button if you get scared.
Okay. Daddy is learning to ask for help too.
Some people dig through trash and manufacture rumors. We use capital to bring ruins back to life. Welcome. I hear you bought a container of scrape pipes and now think you can judge a developer.
Scrap pipes don't lie. The people who change their numbers do.
The project prospect says the final environmental permit has been issued. What is the permit number? Once financing closes, all documents will be placed in the data room. An opportunity won't wait for everyone to read at their leisure.
A setup that demandates you wire the cash first and check the files later isn't called an opportunity. It's a scam. Before I sign, I want one final confirmation. The environmental report is valid, and the old accident will not affect the project.
As chairman, I guarantee that there is no undisclosed contamination on this property. The final environmental permit is in effect, and tonight's funds will go only into the project's regulated escrows account.
Then why did you tell me to transfer the financing to an offshore account tomorrow morning?
If you betray me, your debts, your house, and the child in your belly will all lose my protection.
I'm feeling a little unwell.
Intercepted.
Move the corroded pipes first. Put the responsibility on the loader working that shift.
You knew the ground was contaminated and you still asked us to invest more?
Was the Children's Medical Center just another sign you used to raise money?
Recordings can be faked and documents can be planted. If Jack could find things inside a sealed container, he must have planned this from the beginning.
The custom seals, laboratory reports, bank records, and witnesses' statements have all been secured. Mr. Grant Howard, you are suspected of investment fraud, document forgery, illegal transfer of pollutants, obstruction of investigation, and intentionally striking someone with a vehicle and fleeing the scene.
We ordered all of it! The fake manifests, bid rigging, and the camera blackout. They were the jackets and Zmiatulon. I have the messages!
Without those eyes, you're still the poor worker no one believes.
My eyes let me see objects, the evidence, and every record you left behind are what made people believe me.
Daddy, did you find the police?
I did. Daddy's coming home now.
"12 years ago, you told me it wasn't you, and I asked why everyone else said it was."
Back then, even I was starting to doubt myself. Today isn't about punishing you for the past. It's about making sure no one can ever use that paper to shame us again. The succession addendum has been unauthenticated. The court has issued a long-term injunction, and the developer must continue honoring the residents' right to remain clause.
We don't have to pack up and move?
No. This time we're not buying a few more days. We're staying for good.
I won't contest Lily's medical or residential rights anymore. I'll cooperate with the prosecution in Grant's case. I only ask that my case not harm my unborn child.
Your unborn child doesn't have to pay an adult's debts. Neither does Lily. Her boundaries will follow the court's order.
The court will still hear about Lily's circumstances, but it will not require her to meet Rachel.
The final ruling is tomorrow. Her statement can end the interference, but child support and unpaid medical expenses will still be handled by the court.
Do you object to Jack receiving sole authority over Lily's residence, education, and medical decisions?
No objections.
You are giving up the dispute, not your legal duty to support the child. The unpaid amounts will be calculated separately. This ruling is not a reward for wealth. It recognizes who has consistently cared for the child
and who took responsibility when risks arose.
I understand completely. Her daily life will never be strapped to the fluctuations of another auction block again.
From now on, the hospital and school will follow your father's formal decisions. And if there is anything you don't want, you can tell me directly.
So the machines won't stop just because Mommy refuses to sign anymore?
Never again, sweetie.
She has always lived with me. No one won her. The court simply put that fact into writing.
Don't be scared this time, Daddy. Will you still be here when I come out?
Daddy isn't going anywhere.
Back then, we sat here, trying to scrape together the money. Today, the money is there, and the doctors are ready. You only have to wait for her to come back. You can't see through this door. But you don't have to wait here alone.
I'm still terrified.
Then sit with the fear. We'll wait together.
The surgery went well. We'll monitor her recovery now. She was very brave.
You stayed the whole time, Daddy?
Your daddy promised you I wouldn't move an inch.
You're here too.
I promised your dad we wouldn't talk about work until you woke up.
Fixed wages, completion bonuses, and the right to refuse hazardous work are all written into the contract. If anyone orders you into a unit without protection, come straight to me.
The past was all a misunderstanding. Now that you have the port contract, can you send a few clean-out jobs to an old friend?
You can submit a bid. Don't leave the wages, insurance, or back pay sections blank. Knowing me earns you no points, and our history won't cost you any either.
As for the back wages I owed you before,
pay every worker what you owe them first. Then we can talk business.
I can pay the rent myself now, and the textile collectibles business has started taking orders. Jack, you don't have to cover any shortfall for me this month.
I only helped you through the door. You're the one standing on your own now.
Next container, I'll still beat all of you. My consulting contract is up. Want to change the nature of our relationship?
Strictly business?
Let's build the company first. We can take our time with the rest.
A sharp eye, experience, and luck all matters less than one word. Stop. If anyone spots a problem, even a temporary waiter, they have the authority to halt the operation for an inspection.
Look at you, Daddy, actually teaching other people how to say no now.
You were the one who taught Daddy first.
All sales are final, but we do not buy illegal goods or sell items of unknown origin. If personal belongings are found, we first try to locate the owner.
Do you still get nervous?
Yes. Seeing the goods clearly isn't hard. Seeing the real cost is.
Then why do you still open them?
It isn't blind gambling. First check where it came from, then calculate the risk. Only after that does luck get a turn. A 1965 Fender Mustang. The original neck and pickups are intact. Restored, it should be worth about $20,000.
This charity lot only cost $3,000. It's not $1 million treasure, but after restoration and sale, it will cover today's costs and wages.
Pay the workers first according to their contracts. After restoration and site costs, put everything left into the heart surgery fund. That's enough.
Grant Howard is facing multiple charges, including investment fraud, illegal transfer of hazardous waste,
And causing serious injury to the vehicle.
The law will deal with the bad people. Our lives can't revolve around him forever.
Well, partner, are we cracking the next door?
The boss calls the shots today.
Crack it!
I used to think turning my life around meant seeing through a box. Later, I understood. First, you have to believe you don't deserve to be treated like trash. Then you have to be brave enough to let others open the door with you.